Hi, and welcome to another X-Plane 11. I said I wasn't going to do another one of these, but I do have a lot of fun doing these, so I thought I'd do a nice quick one tonight. We're just going to do a quick flight from Brisbane to Sydney, so, you know, probably just under an hour maybe, depending on weather. So we're currently on the apron here at the gate. We're gonna push back, turn around to the right, and then head straight out down the tarmac, down the taxiway to the end of the runway and take off. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll head inside the aircraft now, and we'll get everything started up. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We are going to try and follow a checklist where possible. So I'll bring that up here. I've got it on my screen. I don't know if you guys will see. Yeah, you won't see it unfortunately, but I'll talk us through it as we go. No, it doesn't show up. That's alright. It's not a problem. Alright, what we'll do is... Alright, so we'll start up with the electrical ground power up checklist. So, let's first turn this music down a little bit. Alright, okay, first step. Battery switch, guard closed. Battery switch, guard closed. Standby power, guard closed. Alternate flaps, guard closed. Where's alternate flaps? I don't even see the alternate flap one. I don't even see alternate flaps. Oh, there it is, alternate flap, guard closed. Sorry about that. Wiper selector park. Wiper selector park. Electric hydraulic pumps is off. Landing gear lever down. Ground power available, ground switch power on. Ground power available, power on. Okay. Overheat detect switch off. Normal, sorry. So we can find the overheat detect switch. I'm not even sure where that switch is. I have seen it. I know it. I swear half the battle in this is just finding the switches. I mean, the checklist. I wish the checklist actually told you what panel I'd be looking at. Overheat detect. Overheat detect. Overheat detect. Overheat. You guys are probably screaming at me and probably telling me to just click it because you can see it. You're probably pointing at your screen, but I am not seeing it. Overheat detect. No, no, no. 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 Not seeing it. Well, I can't do that switch anyway. That's alright. Next switch is APU detect in-op light. So APU panel. Yep. It's all off. Test switch. Yep. Master fire warning. Push. Okay, that worked. It's down the bottom. I was looking in the wrong spot. That's why I couldn't find it. That's confirmed. Check. Extinguisher chest. Check. Test switch position to 1. Hold, then release. Repeat for 2. Yep. And hold 2. Yep. APU start. On and hold for start. APU start. APU generator bus. Waiting for APU available. On. Wheel well fire test. I'm guessing that's that. We've done that. That's what it was testing, right? Yeah, engine is, yeah, that's fine. Yep. Okay, that's done. Fire belt cutout push, we've done that. IRS mode selectors off the nav. Off nav. Voice record switch on. There's the voice record panel up here. PSEU light. Check. GPS light verified extinguished. Service interphone is off. Engine panel set. Currently, yep, set. Oxygen panel is set. Landing gear lights set and verify illuminated. Flight recorder switch guard closed. Flight recorder guard closed. Where is it? Guard closed. Check. And parking brake is set. Okay. Preliminary pre-flight procedure check complete. Alright, now we will start the pre-flight procedure. Flight control panel, check. Yep, that is check. Navigation panel, check. Display panel, check. Fuel panel, check. 17,000 pounds of fuel. Electrical panel, check. Overheat and fire protection panel, check. APU switch is start. Emergency light guard closed. Yep, guard closed. Alright. Passenger signs set. Wiper selections park. Window heat all on. Probe heat off. Wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off. Hydraulic panels set. Aircon panels set. Cabin press panel set. Lighting panel set. And ignition select switch. Ignition left or right. Ignition left. Engine start switch off. Tuna ATIS. Alright, now. Brisbane ATIS frequency is 125.5. So 125.5.
Brisbane INTL information Oscar. 600 Zulu weather. Wind 160 at 9, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 2000 few, 4000 scattered, temperature 2.18. Altimeter 3009. Arriving runway 19, departing runway 19. Advise on initial contact you have Oscar.
Alright, so departing runway 19, 3009 for the altimeter, so we note that. For the altimeter. Alright, mode control panel is set. EFIS control panel set. So set mins. We can't actually configure that on this thing, unfortunately. We can set QNH though, which is 3009. 3009 is set. Oxygen test and set. We'll just assume that's tested. Can't really test it, obviously. Clock is set. And display select panels set. Okay. Disengage light test, hold to 1, repeat 2. I don't think I have a light test disengage button, unfortunately. I do have a lot of test buttons, but not that one. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have that test, but that's alright. Flight instruments check. No flags. FMA is blank. Flight director is off. Ground proximity check. Landing gear panel set. Auto brake set to RTO. Check. Anti-skid in op. Verify extinguished. Extinguished. Engine display control set. Engine instruments check. 012 check. Check. Oil temp check. Vibration check. Oil check. Cargo fire panel. Check. And all lights extinguished. Det SW normal. Push test. Check. Radio tuning set, so we want to set for Brisbane ground control 121.7. That's alright. That's 1.7. So we're now tuned for Brisbane ground. Transponder panel set. Test set. Stabilizer trim override guard closed. Seat rudder pedals are check. Alright. That is the pre-flight procedure check complete. And now for the first officer, now we do the captain check. Lights testers completed, motor control panel checked, oxygen, clock, nose wheel steering all checked. Nose wheel steering guard closed, check. Display select panel set. Disengage light test holder 1, repeat 2, check. Stabilizer out of trim, light extinguished, check. Flight instruments check, no flags, FMA blank, flight director check. Standby instruments check. Standby RMI set. Parking brake is set. Flap lever set. Lever agrees with position. Flaps 0. Position 0. Parking brake is set. Engine start levers set to cut off. They are set to cut off. Stabilizer trim normal. Radio tuning panel set. Seat rudder pedals adjust. Seatbelt adjust and check. Pre-flight check for the captain complete, and pre-flight check before start. Before start procedure. Flight deck door closed and locked. Check. Do the performance data steps in the CDU pre-flight before completing this procedure, so we can't do that step, so we'll skip that. CDU display pre-F takeoff page. Yeah, we'll skip all that. N1 and IS bugs check and set. Yep, don't have the IS, so don't have to worry about that. Set. Section takeoff reset. V2 will be set. ARM, VNAV, and LNAV. Set runway heading will be 19. In this case, 195. Check 195. Taxi takeoff brief. Okay, so we're going to fly runway heading 19, at which point we'll climb to 3,000 feet at approximately 3,200 feet per minute. Upon passing 3,000 feet, we'll climb to 33,000 feet, and we will engage LNAV on our ILS approach to Sydney, YSSY. We'll discuss Sydney landing procedure once in the air. Taxi and takeoff, we'll taxi straight ahead. We'll taxi push back straight out, taxi down taxiway, down for 19. So we'll come through this taxiway here, down this taxiway to the end of the runway, and line up for 19 for takeoff. So taxi and takeoff brief complete. Exterior doors verify closed. Door indicator reports all doors closed. Fantastic. Okay. Fuel pumps are on.
November 02 X-ray. Papa. Contact tower on 120.5.
Contact tower on 120.5. November 02 X-ray. Papa.
Center fuel pumps on. If less than 460, we'll turn those off. Hydraulic panels all on. Hydraulic panels are all on. Check. Anti-collision lights are
ground. November 03 X-ray. Papa.
Trim set units 0 and 0. Rudder trim set 0. Stabilizer trim set for takeoff, correct? Yep, we're good. Yep, check. And obtain clearance. Okay, we'll do our push.
Push cart on the way.
Requesting push. Before start procedure check complete. Okay, engine start checklist. Engine display select. Engine display is selected. Packs are off. All packs off, correct. Start sequence announced. Starting engine 1, then engine 2.
Here we go.
Call starting engine 1. Parking brake release. Engine 1. Oh. Engine start switch, select ground. Verify increasing, idle at 25% N2. Spinning up. Starter cutout.
Okay, safe travels.
Engine 2 start. Starter cutout. Fuel flow and EGT on engine 1 and engine 2 look good. Oil temp is good. Fuel flow 0.72 spot on. Before start and engine start checklists are now complete. Before taxi procedure, generator 1 and 2 on. Probe heat on. A and B on. Wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off. Packs are on auto. Confirm. Isolation valve is on auto. Correct and confirmed. AP bleed off. Engine start switches are on continuous. Engine start levers idle detent. Correct. Confirmed idle detent. Verify ground equipment is clear. Confirm. Flaps set for takeoff. So we'll go for flaps 10. Flight controls check. Free and moving. No problem. Flight controls check. Blank lower displays. Check. Lights. Taxi turn off. Wing on. Logo at night. Taxi. Turn off. And wing lights on. Tail logo at night. Transponder as required. Okay, transponder is on. Recall check. Update changes to taxi brief as required. Call before checklist complete. Before takeoff procedure. Center fuel tank less than 2300. Check. Cabin crew signal. Cabin crew prepare for takeoff. Weather radar display is required. Terrain display is required. Before takeoff checklist complete. All right, let's commence our taxi. So we're just going to proceed straight out now. Parking brake released. So there's a few things I noticed there. The checklist doesn't have a setting for confirming that the yaw damper is enabled, but we've enabled that. So we'll proceed to the first taxiway. What's that? Bravo Charlie 1. Charlie 1 Bravo. Just get off the apron. Okay, we'll tune risen departure on 125.6. Excuse me, sorry about that. Oh, I normally mute myself when I do that. Bit more speed. Okay, while we're doing that, I'll load the flight plan in. Yep, it's fine. Route menu, co-pilot. So we're going to Sydney, load that flight plan in. Let's look at the legs, make sure the legs are correct. Yep, it's good. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Okay. Approaching the turn-off point now to the runway for 19. And we're at the hold point. Alright, we're now holding short. We're checking traffic clear. Traffic is clear. Alright, alert the flight crew. Flight crew, prepare for takeoff. Brisbane Tower, this is Qantas 737. Requesting takeoff clearance. Qantas 737, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, Qantas 737. Okay, takeoff procedure. Strobe lights on. Transponder TARA. One of my lights are see with aircraft heading. Landing lights all on. Clock timer. Start. Advanced thrust to 40% for N1. Just to stabilize. Takeoff, go around. Switch verified. Thrust check. Speed indicators are alive, 80 knots. V1. VR. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flight director on. Runway heading hold. Set to 33,000 feet. Climb rate 3,200 feet per minute. Ups 5. Climb thrust. Engine bleed impacts on. Engine start with switches are good. Auto brake off. Landing gear off. Retract taxi lights. After takeoff checklist complete. 4,000 feet. Engaging LNAV. Setting speed for 300 knots. Auto throttle engaged and armed. Flaps 2. Flaps 1. Climb and cruise checklist. Above 10,000. Okay, we are 37.0 miles to the next waypoint. Above 10,000 feet, climb and cruise checklist. Center fuel tanks off if less than 460 kilos. There's above that we want on. Lights, landing, turn off, wing are off. Passenger signs as required. Seatbelt sign is off. And transition altitude is setting standard. Cross check. Confirm. Climate cruise checklist complete. Flaps 0. Confirm. Flaps up. Leading edge transit. Leading edge flaps out. Confirm. We're at cruise speed. (10,000 feet). APU off. Warning indicators, all systems looking good. Alright, well that worked quite well. We're now on our way to Sydney. Something nice there. Right out over in Ogra, now we're heading south. Still climbing to 32,000, 3150 meters feet per minute. Fuel 14.8. Flap 0. Speed brake. Retractor. Engines. Looks good. Cabin altitude warning. It's not a warning I want to see. Engine bleed on. Cabin altitude was way too low. .2 nautical miles to the next waypoint. That's good. Let's reduce our climb rate to 2,400 feet per minute. Cabin altitude light is out. looks like we've done quite well there, no major issues. Alright, we're on our way now to Sydney. Next waypoint is 7 nautical miles and still climbing to 33,000 feet, and I'll be back shortly. And yes, awesome, I'll have another game of Civ. I know you're obsessed with the Civs, but Flight Sim is so cool. And I'm back. We're at 33,000 feet and 300 knots. Engines at cruise. Alright, next waypoint in 2 miles. Sydney is about 290 miles away. 22 nautical miles to the next waypoint. Total fuel, 12,000 pounds remaining. Fuel check complete. Flight status check complete. Alright, in preparation, we're just going to tune to, sending the radio, tune to 126.25. And standby, ready for the Sydney 8ers. So at the moment we're still travelling at 300 knots, indicated airspeed 33,000 feet. We're just passing Armadale, still on direct for Sydney. Currently heading to Santa now, 60 nautical miles till we hit that, and then another 154 to Sydney. At 100 nautical miles we'll start our descent to 5,000 feet. At which point we'll start our, once we cross 10,000 feet, we'll start preparation for descent. And we'll get our aircraft configured for our approach. Now, if we have a look at Sydney 8ers, Sydney 8ers is currently telling us that simulators, the arrivals are on runway 34. So that'll be our approach. We will fly south beyond the airport, essentially joining into the downward leg. We'll turn to base and then turn onto final on the 134. We'll start our 3,000. We'll go from 5,000 feet to 3,000 feet in our descent in our downward leg, and we will commence our final descent on our base leg to ground. Wheels down at 3,000 feet. On downward leg, I'll be setting flaps 15, base leg flaps 25, and final down to flaps 40. Our approach speed will be 140 knots, and I will have the APU running throughout the landing. we're 10 miles to Senad, and then from there 154 miles to Sydney. And again at 100 miles we'll commence our descent. And we're approximately 20 minutes from Sydney. That explains the reason we're flying with such a slew. There's a 75 knot crosswind, 82 knots in some places. Now, if you're wondering how I worked out at what rate we should descend, generally in this plane you would descend at 250 knots, and basically you work it out that you drop the 3 zeros from the altitude times by 3. That's how many miles from the threshold you should start your descent. Generally between 1500 and 2000 feet a minute. We'll do about 1800 to split the difference. Yeah, that crosswind is nuts. I didn't even notice that. I noticed the slew, but I didn't think it was that bad. 75 knots. What the heck's going on in Sydney? That's a serious jet stream. Look how far it's pushing us off our approach vector. So that's our destination, by the way. We're coming in on this runway, and we're coming in from 34. That's the active runway. And we're at about 100 miles, so we'll start our descent. We'll set our speed to 250. I'm going to set our 130 will be our heading when we deviate. Set our altitude to 5,000 feet. And vertical speed minus 1800. It's at this point we'd alert our passengers that we are about to start. We're just starting our descent, and the cabin crew will start getting the cabin ready for landing. Generally, you want to maintain about 40% N1. We're about 33, so we're a little bit below idle, or we're just at idle, but that's also not a problem. It's also a good idea to keep your throttle at idle if you can. You want to do it as clean as possible, but that crosswind is going to make it quite difficult for us. It shouldn't affect our descent because it's actually a headwind, so we'll make our descent maybe slightly longer. So we'll just knock our vertical speed in at 1500 to allow us to slow down a bit more, and yeah, we'll see how we go. we're passing 24,000 feet and a good 70 miles to go. 13 minutes out from Sydney. We'll do our descent checklist now. Center fuel tanks off if less than 1400. Not less than us. We'll keep that on. Center pumps on. Pressurization, check landing altitude. It's on auto, check. System enunciators, recall and review. No enunciators, check. VREF is set. Minimums are set, and we'll set our barometric pressure to current QNH in Sydney is 1026. If it'll let me set it at 1026, will it? There we go. 1026, I see that. Ah, it's annoying. When I said that, 26. All right, it's set. And approach radio set. Auto brake select. We're looking at a dry runway, so we'll go auto brake. Approach briefing conduct. Okay, so we've already done that. Descent checklist complete. So that's good actually, we're maintaining pretty much spot on 40% N1, which is what we want. We'll keep it at 1800 feet per minute. We're at 17,000 feet, we're still going to aim for 5,000 feet for our base leg approach. I'm currently flying over the Alney Mountains. And Sydney is about there. Still a fair way to go, still a good 50 miles to the airport. 17,000 feet passing. And we'll commence our approach checklist at
Sydney Kingsford Smith INTL information Papa. 700 Zulu weather. Wind 130 F10, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 3,000 few, 5,000 scattered. Temperature 21, dew point 14. Altimeter 3030. Arriving runway 07, departing runways 16 right, 16 left. Advise on initial contact you have Papa. Sydney Kingsford Smith INTL information Papa. 700 Zulu weather. Sydney Kingsford Smith INTL.
I just realised I did the checklist with the microphone muted. That's alright. I've done both the approach checklist. I'll start the which is basically just setting all the lights, turning on the passenger sign, setting the altimeters, which we've already done, and updated our approach procedures. Now we'll start our landing procedure. Cabin crew have been notified for landing. Okay, on localizer intercept, verify ILS tuned. So we'll tune the localizer there. Where's the localizer frequency? I actually don't know. Just looking up what the localizer frequency is. Normally you'd have this in a QRH checklist. You have all this pre-populated. So we got the localizer for 07, which is 109.9. Switching BOR to approach. And okay, on localizer, going to set approach mode is armed. Turning to I just realised that's the wrong runway. I thought that was 07. Which way is north? Never mind, that's the runway we're going for. Just 34. Okay. 5, speed 0. Flaps 10, gear down. They're a little high, but that's not a problem. Or actually a lot high. Speed brake arm. It's actually runway 25. I'm such an idiot. I lined up for the wrong runway. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to get back up to 5,000 feet and line up for the right runway. Speed up again. 250. Let's head west now. Over the airport. Well, that was a bit of a cock-up on my part. I approached the runway from the wrong direction because I forgot that the map was turned around. Not a problem though, we'll just go around and do it again. It's the best thing you can do when you make a fast approach is just go around and do it again. Keep all the lights the same way, there's no need to change those. So we're flying over Punchbowl at the moment, heading towards Liverpool and Moorebank. When we get to about Greendale, actually no, probably when we get to about Austral and Preston, we'll start our turn around again. Alright, let's commence our turn. Where are you going? That's an interesting approach there. Alright, let's reconfigure for approach. Wheels down. C0. Flaps 2. Leading edge flaps transit. And we have flaps 2. Wheels down. Lining up for runway. For 074. I think that's going to work quite well. Might increase our rate of turn slightly. Prep for descent. bit. We'll line up again. Approach that YSSY for 07. Now commence our descent. Going speed 180 and flaps 15. And up on the runway 074. That's better. We're above the glide slope a little bit. Preset rate of descent. Slow down to 150. Oh, we're off to the right still. Still above the glide slope, increasing rate of descent. Okay, and landing procedure. Engine start switch is on continuous. Lights retract, taxi on. Speed brake has been armed, and we're passing the outer marker. So flaps for landing. Oh, we're too low. We are a bit low. That crosswind is nuts. Below glide slope still. That's alright. Flying runway 100, flying runway 65. Why'd we? Okay. And full flap. Now we're above the glide slope.
300.
Alright. Oh, Jesus, the wind is rough.
100. 50. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Power reverse. That was a bit touch and go. Wasn't really happy with that. Okay, after landing, speed brake lever verify up, flaps retract. So if we look on the runway now, we'll turn around now. Heading onto the apron now. I think we can go ahead and say that was a pretty average landing. Does everyone know what I forgot to do? Because I didn't, because I did a go around. I didn't go through the landing checklist again. I didn't set the auto brake. I also didn't set the speed brake. But fortunately, I caught it in time and was able to stop. It's close though. Came very close to running off the edge of the runway there. But this shows to show the power of checklists and why they're so important. Around we go. So we're going to go down here and we'll turn down here towards the passenger terminals. So after landing, APU start. Landing lights, strobes off. Taxi lights on, still good. Engine start switches to off. Weather radar off. Auto brake is off. Flap lever is up. Transponder is required. Turning into gate. And let's see if we can find our gate. It's better up here, I think. Okay. Now there'll be an indicator on the tarmac here, what our correct stopping distance will be. I can't really read it because it's just the detail of the graphics doesn't allow me to do it, but it's not the end of the world. So parking brake on. Yep, that'll be fine. Parking brake is set, APU generators are on, engine start levers cut off. Seatbelt sign off. Anti-collision light off. Fuel pump switches off. Cabin utility as required. APU on the bus. IFE passenger seat as required. Wing anti-ice off. And engine anti-ice off. Engine hydraulic pumps on. Electric hydraulic pumps off. Recirculation fans as required. Packs are on auto. Engine bleed is on. AP bleed is on. Exterior lights as required. Flight directors off. Transponder on standby. Standby. Shutdown checklist complete. Alright, we did it. That was a complete flight from Brisbane to Sydney, following the checklists almost completely, apart from when we made the mistake of setting our landing facilities. Now that's actually really dangerous. Not setting the speed brake and having the auto brake set has caused a lot of accidents before. So it's pretty silly for me not to do that, because I normally check that. But because I was following the checklist and I didn't do it in the right order, I missed it. I also did notice a few things that weren't quite right in the checklist. So I'll have to check that this one does line up. It's not from a Qantas. It's not a genuine Qantas one. It's a one from something called Ken Air, which I've never heard of before. So doesn't quite align, but we'll have to make do. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give me some feedback and hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on our next adventure. Hopefully the next time I live stream, it'll be another game besides X-Plane, probably Civ. Yeah, alright guys, thanks, catch you next time.